Stop walking by us like we're not there, pretending we don't exist.
Appreciate
How
it,
dare you?
but I'll manage. Legendary Argonian masters.
Yeah?
Need some gold? I may have some work for you. Still have quite a good bit of jobs available, if you're looking for some extra coin. I'm afraid that's it, my friend. I've done all I can. I hope the place is at least livable now. And, good luck with your murders. Got lots of jobs available. Interested? There's plenty more work for the likes of you.
Huh. I suppose I can work with your face. After all, the sculptor cannot always choose the finest clay. I assumed you were here to see me about your face, to have it sculpted into something more artful than nature has bestowed upon you. So, are you here as a client? Shall I remake your face? I have not always been a ragged beggar. I learned my art from the masters of the art of flesh sculpture. I studied with the faculty of chirurgeons in Cloudrest. I walked with the hollow-faced men of Notahogra for 3 years. I count the nobility of both the Empire and the Dominion among my clients. And yet, I have fallen so low that I must justify myself to a wanderer in the sewers of this backwater of the world. Change it. I can remake your face, if that's what you desire. I do not practice my art for free, however. I doubt you can afford my services. You have the smell of the vagabond about you. Indeed, it is no small thing to submit yourself to the flesh sculptor's knife. Until next time.
So, you're Brynjolf's new protege, eh? Don't look like much to me.
Never should have come here.
Here we go.
Come on.
Even if you're one of us, you better not make
All
trouble.
eyes are on you, lad.
Don't disappoint us.
So, what do you
Need
think,
something?
my dear? Could a beautiful woman like you ever see yourself with an old codger like me?
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
I have everything you asked for already.
Hope this deal goes through. Putting quite a bit of coin on the line, and the last two you set up fell through.
I don't understand either.
Need
They were a sure thing.
How can a humble servant of Talos help you today?
The force swarm will reclaim what's rightfully ours.
We must be getting close. We should proceed cautiously. It's the prophecy, don't you see? Only a dragonborn can stop Alduin and avert the end of the world, my listener. But I don't yet know how you can stop him. The prophecy doesn't say. But Alduin's wall does. I hope.
We should be careful. There's no telling what traps and wards the ancient blades may have set.
My listener.
We'd best be careful in here.
We are bonded now, you and I, joined through the powers of the void.
This looks promising.
Yes, definitely early Akaviri stonework here.
We've got to get this bridge down. These pillars must have something to do with it.
I live again.
Yes, these are Akaviri symbols. Here, let's see. You have the symbol for king and warrior, and of course the symbol for dragonborn. That's the one that appears to have a sort of arrow shape pointing downward at the bottom.
One day, you will serve our dread father, as I do now.
Yes, that's it. The symbol on the middle pillar. Given that Skyhaven Temple was sealed against the return of the Dragonborn, I will try turning all the pillars to that symbol.
Your enemies will soon know the wrath of Sithis.
Whatever you did,
The
it
tale
worked.
of
Let's see what those
Matthew
old blades left in our way.
and the treachery of Jaden Hall, Culebor's mother, and vengeance festers in the sun.
Wait!
Why are you stopping?
From my
Symbol on the floor.
so white.
Look like pressure.
Across.
Looks safe now. Let's move.
I think we must be close to the Remarkably well preserved, too.
What prey awaits us?
Here's the Blood Seal, another of the lost Akaviri arts. No doubt triggered by, well, blood. Your blood, Dragonborn. Look here. You see how the ancient blades revered Reman Cyrodiil? This whole place appears to be a shrine to Reman. He ended the...
Coming to life.
There's no telling what we might find inside.
In life, I was but a speaker for the Black Hand, but you have been named a listener. There is no higher honor.
See how the Akaviri craftsmen were beginning to embrace the outdoors.
We need information, not a lecture on arms.
Yes, let's see what we have. Look, here is Ulthuan. This panel goes back to the beginning of time, when Alduin and the Dragon Cult ruled over Skyrim. Here, the humans rebelled against their dragon overlords, legendary Dragon War. Alduin's defeat is the centerpiece of the war. You see, here is fallen from the sky. The Nord-Taunt, masters of the voice, are arrayed against him.
So does it show how they defeated him? Isn't that why we're here?
Patience, man. The Akaviri were not a straightforward people. Everything is couched in allegory, mythic symbolism. Yes. This here, coming from the mouths of the Nord heroes, this is the Akaviri symbol for shout. But there's no way to know what shout is meant.
You mean they used a shout to defeat Alduin? You're sure?
Oh, yes. Presumably something rather specific to dragons. Or even Alduin himself. Remember, this is where they recorded all they knew of Alduin.
So we're looking for a shout then. Damn it. You ever heard of such a thing? A shout that can knock a dragon out of the sky? I was afraid you were going to say that. I guess there's nothing for it. We'll have to ask the Greybeards for help. I hope to avoid involving them in this, but we have no other choice. If they had their way, you do nothing but sit up on their mountain with them and talk to the sky or whatever it is they do. The Greybeards are so afraid of power that they won't use it. Think about it. Have they tried to stop the Civil War or done anything about Alduin? No. And they're afraid of you, of your power. Trust me, there is no need to be afraid. Think of Tiber Septim. Do you think he'd have founded the Empire if he'd listened to the Greybeards? Only if you don't know how to use it. All the great heroes have had to learn to use their power. Those that shrank from their destiny. Well, you've never heard of them, have you? And there are the villains, those that misused their power. There's always a choice, and there's always a risk. But if you live in fear of what might go wrong, you'll end up doing nothing. Like the Greybeards up on their mountain. Right. Good thing they've already let you into their little cult. Not likely they'd help Esbern or me if we came calling. We'll look around Skyhaven Temple and see what else the old blades might have left for us. It's a better hideout than I could have hoped for. Talos guard you.
Look here, in the third panel. The prophecy which brought the Akaviri to Tamriel in the first place, in search of the Dragonborn. Here are the Akaviri, the blades. You see their distinctive long swords. Now they need their ancient mission fulfilled as the last Dragonborn contends with Alduin at the end of time. Are you paying attention, Elfie? You might learn something of our own history.
To oblivion and back, as they say. Need me to carry something? May the Hist guide us.
Wind, guide you. Sky, guard you.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to? The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes? What I want is irrelevant. This shout was used once before, was it not? And here we are again. Have you considered that Alduin was not meant to be defeated? Those who overthrew him in ancient times only postponed the day of reckoning. They did not stop it. If the world is meant to end, so be it. Let it end and be reborn. No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom. Dragonborn, wait. Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make. No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice. But not Dragonrend. The knowledge of that shout was lost in the time before history began. Perhaps only its creators ever knew it, but I am not the one to speak of it to you. It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense, you become the shout. In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself. Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question. if he so chooses. He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice. He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege. Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax. Show you how to open the way. Final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well. Yes, guys, will blow away the mist, but only for a time. The path to Paarthurnax is perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
Greetings, Wunderneek. I am Parthenax. Who are you? What brings you to my Strumach, my mountain? I am as my father Akatosh made me, as are you, Dovahkiin. Tell me, why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation? Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the Elder speaks first. Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin. Why do you intrude here if not for Tinvak? Understand fire as the Dove do. Since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Jew. Expected you. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin. Croesus, sorrowfully, no, it cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum? Yes, Alduin, Zemach, the elder brother, gifted, grasping, and troublesome, as is so often the case with firstborn. But why? Why must you stop Alduin? but Kostid, prophecy, tells what may be, not what should be. Kostid Salo Ak. Just because you can do a thing does not always mean you should. Do you have no better reason for acting than destiny? Are you nothing but a plaything of Des, of fate? If you can see your destiny clearly, your sight is clearer than mine. Dahman, remember, Alduin also follows his destiny as he sees it. An indecision. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus, now I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monavin, what you name throat of the world? True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues. Varucht Unslad. Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated. Yes and no. Vik Nuzny Karon. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time. How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such things that Jor do not. It is an artifact from outside time. It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwatlan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls, as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Zophar Sulyech. Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when. Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll, back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it. You have it. The Kell, the Elder Scroll, Tidkrech Kalos. Time shudders at its touch. There is no question. You are doom-driven. Kogan Akatosh. The very bones of the earth are at your disposal. Go then. Fulfill your destiny. Take the scroll to the Time Wound. Do not delay. Alduin will be coming. He cannot miss the signs.
Gormley! I'm running out of time. The battle...
Today, Alduin's lordship will be restored. But I honor your courage. Krifolf Akrin. Die now in vain.
For Skyrim!
A glorious day, is it not?
Have you no thought beyond the blooding of your blade?
What else is there?
Battle below goes ill. If Alduin does not rise to our challenge, I fear all may be lost.
You worry too much, brother. Victory will be ours.
Why does Alduin hang back? We've staked everything on this plan of yours, old man.
He will come. He cannot ignore our defiance. And why should he fear us, even now?
We blooded him well. 4 of his kin have fallen to my blade alone this day.
But none have yet stood against Alduin himself. Balfour, Sori, Birkov.
They did not have Dragonrend. Once we bring him down, I promise, I will have his head.
You do not understand. Alduin cannot be slain like a lesser dragon. He is beyond our strength. Which is why I brought the Elder Scroll.
Veldir, we agreed not to use it.
I never agreed. And if you are right, I will not need it.
We will deal with Alduin ourselves. Here and now.
We shall see soon enough.
Alduin approaches.
So be it.
Tarudis Him Hind Paliv Zu'u Hindan.
Let those that watch from Sovngarde envy us this day.
Go on! What have you done? What twisted worlds have you created? Tarudis us. My teeth to his neck. But first, Deep Kumar. Die in terror, no fate. To feed my power and comfort in Sovngarde.
If I die today, it will not be in terror. First time, Bond. Fear in your eyes. Skyrim will be free!
No use.
Hold Alduin on the wing. Sister Hawk, grant us your sacred breath to make this contract heard. Begone, World Eater. By words with older bones than your own. Break your perch on this age and send you out. You are banished. Shout you out from all our endings unto the last. You are banished!
Worked. Did it.
Yes, the World Eater is gone. May the spirits have mercy on our souls.
Die now, and await your fate in Sovngarde.
Ghostfoot, you are too late, Alduin. Dovahkiin, use Dragon Rend if you know it.
Sulaki Mulak, Par Thranas. Rend Dovahkiin. He is too strong on the wing. Bring him to He is too strong on the wing. Bring him to gold with Dragon Rend. Lot Kongrach, you truly have the voice of a Dova. Alduin's allies will think twice after this victory. Ni livrach hin moro. True, this is not the final Krongrach victory, but not even the heroes of old were able to defeat Alduin in open battle. Alduin always was Pachlok, arrogant in his power. Uznagar Par. He took domination as his birthright. This should shake the loyalty of the Dove who serve him. Yes, one of his allies could tell us. Matmahus. But it will not be so easy to convince one of them to betray him. Perhaps the Hafkasayun, the palace in Whiterun, Dragon's Reach. It was originally built to house a captive Dova. A fine place to trap one of Alduin's allies, Yes, but your Sum is strong. I do not doubt that you can convince him of the need. Yes, this was ages ago, you understand. There were more of us then. Before the Bruniki, the Akaviri came and killed all my Zema. I used to visit him from time to time, nearly crazed by loneliness and captivity. Tiraz Sivaz. He did not even remember his own name. I do not know how he came to be caught, but the Bronyun, the Jarl, was very proud of his pet, Pak. The Hofkosayun has been known as Dragon's Reach ever since. I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thum since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me. Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master. Fus, Faim, and Yol. It is called force in your tongue. But as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back. Look through. Dremio, which calls to you, fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit. Unslad zi, where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum arc mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength. Lok Thum. Speak, which calls to you. Thay, pond. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum, which calls to you. In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true meaning of Yol. Solyak, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your sum, in your breath. Sum arc mora. What will you burn? What will you spare? Arc Mora, which calls to you. Pond, that is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum arc mora. Will find that your spirit will give you more strength. Speak, which calls to it is think, that is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum arc mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back.
It's